Welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm Speaks. It's Jared and Bob coming at you fast and furious on a Friday. That's an alliteration for you. Fast and furious on a Friday. So speaking of fast and furious, I want to get right into this. We got a lot of juicy shit going on right now. So obviously, we know Portland has just been a giant shit show.
Yep.
Like for the last year, essentially, at this point. So they had the Chaz, right? Or the Chad, whatever the fuck it was called. The demilitarized zone, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Like, is that one of those, like, autonomous zones?
Yeah. The autonomous zone. So that obviously didn't go so well. They were also one of the places that kind of led the charge on, like, defunding the police and all that shit. So now, there have been some violent protests that have been breaking out in Portland, which, hey, weird. It's just been a fucking debacle for a year, and now things are getting pretty bad. So what happened?
Do they need more funding for the police?
Yep. So Portland, I'm going to read you, this is the headline from Yahoo News. Portland mayor asks residents to help, quote, unmask people behind the violent protests. It's a cute little word they use there, unmask.
We're unmasking now?
Yeah.
I'll fucking unmask.
So this guy's name is Ted Wheeler. Teddy boy over here is fucking losing his mind. So it says Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler on Friday asked residents to help unmask the people behind violence at protests in recent weeks, which grew in fervor after police fatally shot a white man at Lentz Park. Well, there's a different thing. There's a different headline that no one heard anything about.
Yep, didn't hear that one.
So there were protests apparently in Portland. So he's saying, this is Wheeler, they want to burn, they want to bash, they want to intimidate, assault. Our community needs to resume their lives. People need to get back to work. Employers need to be able to reopen, right? Because now this is all we care about. It's no more, 2 weeks to flatten the curve. No, like, do your due diligence as a citizen. Make sure you care about other people and get vaccinated. Make sure you wear your mask because it's not about you. It's about everyone else. We have to stay home from work. We can't go out in public, all this stuff, because it's about keeping people safe. Well, not anymore. Now it's about we need to resume our lives. Now we need to get back to work. Everything needs to be able to reopen. And what he says was, I support our police using all legal strategies, including kettling, when the appropriate circumstances and resources are available to do so without putting officers at risk of physical harm. So I don't know what the fuck kettling is.
I don't either.
I'm going to Google it. Police kettling.
I'm fucking kettling.
It's corralling. So it's like controlling large crowds. So it's crowd control.
Cattle. Wait, did you say kettling or cattling?
Kettling, like a tea kettle. Kettling.
See, cattling would have made a lot more sense because it's like herding cattle.
Well, apparently cattling is what you do to cattle, and kettling is cattling for people. For police. So now he's saying our job is to unmask them. It's just funny. Arrest them, prosecute them. I want to personally thank neighbors, family, friends, and others who have come forward with vital evidence. People who know these criminals. They know what they're up to. So months ago, he was out here supporting protests for the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yep.
Saying you can't be outside unless you're protesting. You can't gather in groups larger than 20 or 25, whatever it was, unless you're protesting. There were all these you can'ts unless you're protesting. And all they did was bend over backwards for the BLM stuff. And now they've crossed the line because they've just been rioting for months. And now the mayor's like, well, we need more funding for the police because we have to control these crowds. And these people are derelicts, for lack of a better word.
I hope everyone's happy because now the hardcore right people that said, oh, if you give in to the mob, you'll lose control. Everyone's like, no, it's all peaceful protest. It's all cool.
Yeah.
If you give in to the mob,
Well, it was mostly peaceful.
if you bow to the mob, that's what they kept saying. They kept saying,
I know they destroyed countless numbers of businesses and shattered windows and flipped cars and, destroyed police cars. But other than that, it was mostly peaceful.
Yeah, but it fit their agenda. And then when you bow to the mob, that's what they kept saying. That was always the first. I used to know what the first half of the sentence is before the apostrophe, whatever.
Yeah.
That's how they introduced every sentence.
Yeah.
And you just made all of those idiots right. I hope you're fucking happy.
Yeah. Because the fucking stupid ass conservatives don't deserve to be right all the time. Like, no one deserves to be right all the time. Sometimes they're fucking idiots. Sometimes they say stupid shit. Sometimes I agree with what they have to say. Sometimes I agree. Sometimes I agree with what liberals have to say.
Oh, because
you know what I mean? Like,
no shit. If you give in to the mob, then eventually they're gonna take it too far. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
But they would say like, see, when you give in to the mob, we give up all our rights. It's like, no, that's not. You can't get from A to B there.
Right. They take too many logical leaps.
Yes. There. And it's like, oh, see what happens when you bow to the mob.
Yeah.
People have pronouns now. What?
Yeah.
What? That's not. that doesn't track.
Yeah.
So now when you bow to the mob people, they're all right. Again, hope you're happy.
Yeah. And this is the thing too. It's like, it's stupid little shit like this, like the former director of CNN. Remember, he got caught on tape admitting that like all they did was pump fake news just to get Trump out of office.
Seemed awfully proud of it.
Yeah. And it's like, all you did was just validate everything Trump said.
Yep.
And now everyone's like buying into more, because this is the thing. And this is how you get locked into conspiracies all the time, is that some of them are true.
Yes.
And
that is the problem. That's the problem with conspiracies.
Yes. And when you're able to validate some of them, and when you're able to validate some of the things that someone like a Donald Trump says, his followers are like, see, he was right about X, which means Y, Z, B, C, E, and G are all true too. Yeah. And it's like, no, that transitive property doesn't work here. He was right about X, but that doesn't also mean he was right about Y and Z too. Like, I threw the Z in there for our Canadian listeners. We got back in Canada. We got some more downloads in Ontario recently. So shout out to you guys.
Do they actually pronounce the letter Z?
Yeah.
Really?
As far as I know.
Is all you know from Archer?
Well, that and Ian McMillan.
Okay.
Shout out to Ian McMillan. He'd be a pretty fun guy to try and get on the show. If we could get him to do a Zoom.
Just like, yeah. It's just like randomly ask him like, hey, do you want...
Be like, hey man, do you want to come do a podcast? Like, let's just shoot the shit.
We don't even have to talk gambling if you don't want to.
No, we don't.
I mean, dude, you dressed up in a baking costume.
Yeah.
And before the NFL season, said a prayer to our Lord and Savior, Gambler.
Yes.
And finish the prayer with, in the name of the favorite, the underdog, and the over-under.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck what you do.
Yeah.
You could be an accountant and I would fucking want to talk to
you. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll try. Maybe I'll DM him. But, yeah. That's somehow we got from Donald Trump to Canadians saying Zed. But yeah, no, as far as I know, we're Rush too. The song YYZ, because it's YYZ.
No, it's YYZ.
Yeah, but like everyone's like, oh no, dude, it's YYZ. Like, all right, I get it. They're Canadian. They're a great band, but we're in America. It's YYZ.
I'm Googling this.
Do Canadians really call it Zed? I'm excited.
Zed is the name of the letter Z. The pronunciation Z is more commonly used in Canadian English than Z, as Z is the British pronunciation, and Z is chiefly American. I have never heard a British person say Z.
No.
I've also really never heard a British person spell.
I was just going to say, I've never really heard a British person talk about the alphabet and letters. But it makes sense because Canadians are still kind of like clinging on to the fact that they were like once part of England. They still have the old bitch on their fucking money.
Yeah, I mean,
What happens when she dies? Do they change all the money to Prince Charles?
it's gonna be Harriet Tubman. When's she going on the 20?
I don't know. I have no idea. Didn't Trump actually do that? Like, wasn't he the one?
I don't know if he did. They've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah, or maybe it was Obama.
See, it's gonna be hard though when we're all paying with crypto, and they're gonna finally put Harriet Tubman on the 20,
And then no one's going to use fiat
then-
currency anymore.
Then we're just gonna be using crypto.
Yeah. Or we'll go completely digital and cash will just like stop it. Cash will go the way of change, like coins. Like no one uses fucking coins. Which also, I don't know if anyone noticed that lives in the United States, not in Canada, sorry for you, or Argentina or any of those other fucking places that you people listen to us on. But everywhere you went last summer,
There's a coin shortage.
yeah, there was a coin shortage. There was a sign up in every store that said, like, if you have change, please give it to us because we don't have any. Or like, please try and pay with exact change because we don't have any coins to give you.
I went to the dollar store and tried to pay cash one day, and they're like, "Oh, we can't give you any change." I'm like, "All right, I guess I'll use my credit card for $3.16
Yeah.
or 18 cents, whatever it is."
Yeah. Like, oh, sick, dude.
Well, first headline, I typed in Harriet Tubman $20. New York Times article. Harriet Tubman $20 bill redesign to be accelerated by Biden ... Okay, I'm good. We're politicizing the $20 bill.
Yep. Good.
We're politicizing something that people use to fucking snort cocaine with.
Yes.
Why? Oh, remember that time Biden changed the $20 bill? He was so good.
Yeah. Oh, he's the greatest president of all time.
So good.
Well, he followed the worst president of all time.
He cares so much about black people.
So
He's
we
gonna
had,
he's gonna get rid of the menthol cigarettes for them.
yeah, he's just trying to help.
Yeah, because black people smoke menthol. Black people are the only ones smoking menthol, so he's out to save black people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did he say something like that?
Yeah, well, that's what they said. I read that the last time.
Oh,
Right? I said it was like
was I here or were we on Zoom?
could have been Zoom. I don't
even
know.
know.
But it was like people of color and
Yep. Nope. That makes sense now.
people of color, poor people,
Yeah.
and LGBTQ plus.
Yep. Nope. That makes sense.
They're the only ones that smoke menthols, and we have to save them because no one else smokes menthols.
Allegedly, so according to the New York Times, Trump opposed the idea of changing the $20 bill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Fucking bigot.
He was the worst president of all time, but luckily we have the best president of all time in office right now.
Because the president actually sits there and does things.
Yeah. Especially Joe Biden. He got a lot done in the 45 plus years that, he was in politics before becoming
Well,
president.
especially now, he's going to be the one that actually writes the legislature about the cigarettes.
Well, yeah, that's the only way it goes.
Because he's going to do it.
Yeah. Even if like presidents before him didn't actually write their own legislation, like he's going to.
Yeah, because he's different.
Well, he's the best one ever.
Yeah, he's different.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what, like, the world has been fixed. Like, everything is fine now because Joe Biden's in office. Like, he's the greatest president of all time. And he's only been in office for 4 months.
He's the Trevor Lawrence of
Yeah.
politicians.
I don't know why the camera is fuzzy.
I also got bad news on that
clear.
camera.
What?
Is the sound thing going up and down?
Oh. Yep. Nope. Didn't plug it in. Can you pass me that guy? Yeah, you got to take all those off.
What the fuck? Gotta unlasso this cable.
Yep.
How long is this thing? So we got a foggy camera. We got a window open. Dude, we were not prepared for this one. Holy shit. Got the shades going, or shades open. I think we like the shades down.
I don't know why.
It just went blurry all of a sudden. Did you touch the lens?
No, it's like out of focus. It's just not auto focusing.
Turns out the shade is actually closed. We got that right.
Yeah. No, I made sure I closed the shades. I don't know. Maybe it'll fix itself. Maybe it won't.
Well, if it's on auto, it should automatically do it, right?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it goes out of focus because we move around because we can't sit still. Neither one of us.
You speak for your fucking self.
Neither one of us is that great at sitting still.
I never sit still.
But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. There's like 10 people that watch the YouTube show anyway.
That's not the spirit.
Well, maybe if you fucking people told more people about us, we would have more people watching the YouTube show, and then I would have a reason to get off my ass and fix the video. So there you go. You guys have all the power.
You're being selfish.
Well, duh. I'm not going to get this vaccine for everybody else. I'm not going to get it at all.
I had to go at it with a fucking 17-year-old athlete the other day.
Oh, that's good.
She's like, I think everybody should get it and whatever. I'm like...
Oh, that's cool. Who told you that? Your history teacher? Or
well, so she goes
teacher?
to some private school. She goes, I go to the most liberal school on the fucking planet.
Well, that's the thing. Like when
She goes to a
anytime
liberal high school.
anytime you have anyone that's like under the age of like 20, whatever they're saying is essentially being parroted by either like their teachers, their coaches, their parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't have your own fucking thoughts when you're 17 years old.
Well, and it's like, I mean, the family themselves, yeah, they're like super into it. But she also, like, this is the thing, and this is the reason, like, I even brought it up, because normally I would just let it go, is I was just telling her, I'm like, you know, not for nothing, it's not the easiest thing in the world to get an appointment when I need to get one.
Yeah.
Because, like, Michaela's found a bunch for J&J, and it's like, oh, Thursday? I go, I can't do Thursday anytime. She goes, none? I go, well, I can do, like, 9:30.
Yeah. PM.
A.M.
Oh, okay.
I can do 9:30 a.m.
Yeah.
It looks like, and it looked like they only had them after 11. I go, nope.
Yeah.
11 on, I can't.
Yeah.
And if I could trust these places to actually get me the fuck in and out, which I can't,
Right.
it would be different. And it's like Friday. It's like, well, you know, I'm not working today. I'm golfing. That absolutely takes fucking priority.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Middleborough at 4 o'clock.
Nope. Fuck that.
Plus, I'm here now. Like,
Yeah.
this is what I use Friday for.
Right. Right.
But not Michaela, my athlete.
Oh, yeah.
She's just like, oh, why don't you just go to Heinz? I go, when the fuck am I going to go into Boston
Yeah.
to do this?
Yeah. I love that it's just so casual, like it's easy.
Oh, just go. Just
yeah.
go to Boston.
Oh, yeah, just get into Boston. It's real, just real quick. Just zip in and zip out because, it's real easy to get in and out of Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially Heinz. You know where that is?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know where anything is in Boston.
It's in the worst fucking part of Boston to get it.
And where the fuck? And that's the thing is, like, I usually have like 2 hour windows.
It's like literally right in between the seaport and Southie.
Yeah, I don't know how
The worst part
I don't
of
know how to
fucking
navigate
city.
Boston. Whatever. I'm not like, oh, just go to Heinz. Like, I'm not just what do you mean just go to Heinz? But that's the thing, doesn't get it.
Yeah, just doesn't get it.
It doesn't get that when I need to be at work at 11, it's because I need to be at work at 11.
Right. And you own the place and have one employee. So it's not like, oh, I can just kind of stroll in whenever I want. It's like, no. My group starts at 11, so I got to be, or my group starts at 12. I got to be there at 11.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah.
Because I have other shit to do while before. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like, that's the thing is like my time window. Well, anyway, but with her, she's like, we have like anti-vaxxer. I go, well, hold on a second. I go, if you're going to confuse me as a fucking anti-vaxxer,
Right.
you can just stop that right now.
Right.
You can give me a fucking indifferent vaxxer.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I go, it's really fucking inconvenient with my work and golf schedule right now.
I'm an anti-this vaxxer.
Well, you know what? Again, I'm really not.
Yeah.
Because for the 14th time, if there's gonna, I go, and I even told her that. No, actually, I didn't tell her this. I saved myself. I saved myself. I go, I don't think there's any long-term issues with it. I don't think there's any problem.
No.
On this show, I'm on record as to saying it's more likely to do nothing than it is to harm you.
Correct.
So I didn't say that to her.
Yeah.
Because she's like, of course it's going to help you. I'm like,
Yeah. 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 I mean, your immune system's already better than 99%. So
yeah.
this thing is 95% effective at something.
But boy, does she just like not get it.
No.
Like doesn't get.
No.
Like, no. See, now listen, I don't work fucking corporate.
Yeah.
I can't just, take a PTO day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I put in for PTO this day.
Yeah. No, you don't get PTO.
Like, I barely get PT on, paid time time off. I barely get paid for being there. But,
right? Like I bet you, because I used to do that when I was when I would work like in the fitness industry, because you only get paid for when you're actually working. So like you would be there for a bunch of hours, and if you did the salary out,
for
how much time you spent
like
there, yeah, you make like $7.25 an hour.
But that's the problem. And see, it's the problem with that whole like 9 to 5 mentality.
Yeah.
If you want to have the 9 to 5 mentality, hold on, strap in. Everyone grab a fucking seat for this.
Yeah.
If you want that mentality, you have to work 9 to 5.
Right.
You don't get to be a fucking freelancer working 9 to 5.
No.
You don't get to be a barber working 9 to 5.
Right.
You get to, like, especially if you're working a service.
Yeah.
You get to work when your 9 to 5ers aren't.
Yeah. Yes. That's literally what it is.
So, as much as I really, really do love working from maybe about 6 a.m. to about 9, we'll call it.
Yeah.
And then, I work with kids, so let's bump it a couple hours earlier, 3 to 8.
Yeah.
As much as I really love that split schedule,
Yeah.
it's the industry I'm in.
Right.
There is no 9 to 5 strength coach.
No.
9 to 5 are almost the least busy times.
Yes. Yeah. You work from...
No,
I would say
you do get... So
5, like most, like... in
11 to 2 is really bad.
Yeah, like in the fitness world, like as a fitness professional, your busy time is between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. and then again from 3 to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that's it. Anytime between 9 and 2, you're barely doing anything.
But that's like the problem. And again, she's young. She's only in high school, but she thinks she wants to do... Oh my God, computers.
Like tech?
Yeah, what's it called?
Computer science?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my, wow.
Coding?
Retard.
Yeah.
Retard. No, she wants to do like computer science.
Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect 9 to 5 job.
Yes.
I don't know what her parents do. They do something good. It sounds a lot to me like it's 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Sorry, doesn't work like that.
No.
Not everyone works like that.
No.
I'm just blessed.
Yeah.
That I get to leave the house at 5:40 and sometimes don't get home till 9.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. And then you get to wake up the next day and do it all over again.
The most beautiful part,
I miss it, actually. I wish I could go back.
If you want to make no money doing that, I have a job for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally pays nothing. You just get to hang around a gym all day. But I get to sneak out and play golf in the middle of the day, so
That's
there's that.
true. I mean, I can do that now. But, yeah, I mean, I thought about trying to get... There's a personal training place, not, like, literally down the street, so it's not that far. And I've been kicking around, like going and just seeing like what they have available. But it's like, I'm going to be that dickhead that rolls, not to sound like a fucking pompous prick, but like, it's a Fitness Together. I'll throw it out. I wasn't going to use a name, but so anyone that knows, like, it's a Fitness Together. So it's not great. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to find like fucking Eric Cressy at like a Fitness Together.
I mean, you can find, but the problem is you can find someone decent.
Yeah.
But they're probably not going to be allowed.
Right.
Or compensated.
Yeah.
To be any good.
So my whole thing is like, I've kicked around like going over just to see if like, they have hours, if I could go work like, a little bit here and there. But like, I'm going to be the dickhead that goes in and be like, here's my resume. This is when I want to work. If this doesn't work, I'm walking out. You know what I mean?
I don't think
where it's like, I'll do like Monday, Wednesday mornings, from like 5 to 9. And then, I'm not working fucking Sunday. You can pound sand with that. And like, maybe I'll work one Saturday a month. Other than that, you can fuck off. You know what I mean? Where it's like dumb shit like that. Where like, I'm not.
Don't even work.
Yeah.
So this is how this goes too. Again, I only pretend to be the smartest person in the world. When you say you can work a Saturday,
well, then you get roped in.
Guess what you should plan on working?
Yeah.
Every Saturday.
Right.
You should say no to say no to everything.
Yeah.
Or, suck it up and do it. But it will be every Saturday.
Yeah. But it's like one of those where like I don't need the job really. Like it'd just be for some extra money.
It's also like,
and also like I said, not to be like a fucking dickhead here, but like I have a master's degree in strength and conditioning, and I have I don't know what 7 or 8 years of experience in the field, and I've also taught at a college before. Like I just want to come to this fitness together, show up, like train a couple people, get my money, and get the fuck out of there. Like I don't need you guys to be my career. Type of deal. Nope. Like I'm just looking for some money on the side. But we all know how that goes, because then they're like, oh yeah, no, that doesn't work for us. All right, cool, have a good one. Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
No hard feelings. Yeah.
Actually, we need someone to work Friday nights from 6 to 9. Saturday morning 5 to 10.
Yeah.
And Sundays in the fall, let's say 1 to 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Sick. And I know too, because I worked at a fitness together when I was in college. It was one of my first jobs in the field. And that's what I did. I worked, I think it was every other Sunday, every Saturday. And then it was dumb shit like that. I was on Friday night. Like stupid fucking shit like that.
Yep, the shit that other people don't want to work.
Yeah. So, speaking of vaccine shit, this is another thing. It's got me fucking flying high. Again, we've talked about, the video is fixed. I think it looks for faces. I think when our faces turn sideways, it goes blurry.
Did it maybe autofocus?
Yeah, it has facial recognition. So what was I saying? Oh, that we called this again. I don't know how we're not fucking, up there with Joe Rogan at this point. Maybe we will after we get Ian McMillan on the show.
Because we're just we're just two dumbasses.
So we've been saying this the entire time. We said this weeks ago when Pfizer came out and said, oh yeah, you're probably going to need a booster for this thing.
Yep.
Well, what happened this past week? Moderna just came out and said, yeah, you're probably going to need a booster for ours too. Wow. Because they probably realized like, oh shit, the government's just going to keep giving us money, huh? All right,
free
cool.
money.
Yeah. The vaccine that costs, I don't know, probably $50 to make, if that. That's probably a lot.
That's hilarious.
And everyone else gets bonus. Everyone gets a yearly bonus. I told you, like if you can, it all should be available because they're publicly traded companies, so their financials should be open. I want to see what the bonus structure is for the 2020 fiscal year.
I just hope,
my God,
I just hope that somewhere, someone did like a fence for the CEO of Pfizer, and he's just like sitting in his basement, his man cave, like laughing his ass off about how he ripped him off.
Yeah.
And the guy who sold that guy his new car is sitting there laughing about how he ripped him off.
Yep.
Because the CEO of Pfizer is sitting there laughing his ass off about how he ripped off the fucking government.
Yeah.
But yeah, booster. Yep. More shots.
Yeah, you definitely need that.
Do we need them? Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yep. So you're going to throw those ones out at the end of the day if they're unused too? Well, yeah.
Obviously, we can't use them.
We can't save them.
Yeah, we need them at like 4 degrees Kelvin, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, so what? I don't know. What's the generally accepted percent of vaccine effectiveness right now? Is it 90 to 95?
Yeah, roughly.
For the 2-shotters?
Yeah.
So is it less effective, or is this going to make it more effective?
Right.
So that's what I want to know.
Yeah, so there you go. Well, Pfizer is 95% effective.
For how long?
Well, we don't know if effective really.
But
for
they keep
what.
saying, well, 3 months. Well, that's because people only had the fucking thing for 3 months.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, yeah, but like you're probably gonna need a booster. So let's break this down too and think about it. Not to get too nerdy here and too like biology driven, but the way these vaccines are created, it is an mRNA vaccine, which means you have your messenger RNA, which is what mRNA is. It goes into your system. It goes through transcription and translation, which doesn't really matter for layman's purposes, but it's creating DNA and proteins, right? The whole purpose of DNA is to create proteins. That's what it does. So your mRNA, some people are saying like it changes your DNA, whatever. That's like a whole thing. It could, maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I know how mRNA works and transcription and translation and all that bullshit. So you're creating proteins, right? So your DNA is always your DNA, right?
Allegedly.
So, like, that's the whole thing about DNA. Like, forensic analysis, like, if you commit a crime, they check your DNA because it's unique to you. Like, your DNA belongs to you, and it is what it is. So, if this is going to alter your DNA to create proteins, why would it stop? You know, like if you're using this mRNA vaccine to alter the DNA to create the proteins that your body needs to fight coronavirus, you now have that in your genetic code. Why would your genetic code deteriorate over time? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you see what I'm getting at?
Yes. So if they're gonna say like it wears off or we don't know how long it works, then what they're telling us about the vaccine is incorrect.
So the more and more this goes on, the more I think you were absolutely fucking spot on. This thing doesn't do anything. Especially now that we're going and people
it's
are
more likely to do nothing
and people
than
are getting,
be harmful.
Well, the thing now too that like people are getting the vaccine but then still getting COVID. So it's like, do you guys see this?
The one thing society needs to fucking do is stop getting tested if you've been vaccinated.
Correct.
Stop getting tested if you've been vaccinated. Yeah. You need to fucking stop.
Right.
If you're sick as shit, maybe. Fuck, I still want to tell you not to. Because if you're sick as shit, just do what we used to do. Stay the fuck home and fucking sleep.
Yeah. Do you remember what used to happen when you got sick? You stayed home.
But
you drank liquids. You go out and buy orange juice. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, oh, make sure you drink a bunch of orange juice.
But it's hard because again, if what they're saying is true and like you were sick 2 days ago and then all of a sudden you like, you know, have all of us over and no one's vaccinated, then yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Fuck. But 100% people who are not showing symptoms should not get a COVID test if you've been vaccinated.
Right.
But employers are fucking that up.
Yeah.
People read travel advisory.
Yeah.
And not travel order.
Right.
And think they need to follow it.
Well, my favorite thing too is I had this conversation with someone at work the other day, and because obviously I'm still not vaccinated, and it came up and they were like, well, don't you want to travel? And I go,
I can travel.
I can still travel. And they're like, yeah, well, you might need a vaccine passport. And I go,
not
you just said might. Not one state in the country has a vaccine passport yet. It's been rumored. No one's passed it. There actually have been, I think 17 states that have banned the use of vaccine passports, but not one has passed it. So, and I looked and I go, if I wanted to, I could get on a plane tonight and fly anywhere I wanted in the country and come back and be fine and not need any reason. I don't have to show anything to get on the plane other than my license.
Yep.
And they just kind of looked at me and they were like, yeah, but like, you know, and I go, no.
There is no, just because you don't fucking agree with it doesn't mean it's false.
But this is the thing, like people here, and this is why most people are idiots. because they hear rumors on the news. And this is where we're at now, where the news doesn't even have to report on facts. They can report on speculations, and people take it as the real thing. So the news reports on a speculation that, well, you know, some people have talked about implementing a vaccine passport. Now people walk around and go, well, I can't travel because there's vaccine passports. What? Did you listen to anything that's going on? There is no vaccine passport.
There is no vaccine passport,
But these people go around acting as if there are because the news talked about it. And it's like, you guys are fucking idiots. It's I want to say it's mostly older people, but it's not. It's younger people because I work with younger people too. But what I was going to say was the older people, like the 40, maybe 45 plus crowd, remember when the news used to be real. So you had, you know, your Peter Jennings, your Walter Cronkites, your fucking, I don't know, Wolf Blitzers, like, I don't know, like all like legitimate news people, which, you know, back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, when they reported on news, I would say 80 to 90% of the time it was legit and it was real and it wasn't propaganda. Now you just flipped it because in 2021, 80 to 90% of the time, what they're doing is propaganda. So it's like, you know, your days of the news being this like, you know, benevolent entity that's like trying to inform you on like facts is gone. So, but people still hang on to that. And now anytime there's a speculation like, oh, well, you know, some states are talking about doing vaccine passports. And that's all they say. And people are like, oh, well,
every state has a vaccine passport.
Oh, well, there's vaccine passports. I can't get on a plane unless I get a vaccine. It's like, wow, you are stupid.
Yep.
You are stupid. Because like I said, there have actually been states that have passed legislation that bans vaccine passports.
Yeah, that has actually happened.
Not one state has passed legislation to be in favor of creating a vaccine passport.
Yep.
So you guys are idiots. You're all idiots.
Yep. And actually, it's funny. It's one of those... it's another one of those paradoxes because our boy Fuhrer Baker, when discussing the vaccine passports, one thing he did cite was minorities.
Yeah.
He goes, there's a very low population of minorities getting, or a low percentage of minorities getting the vaccine, and we don't want to, you know, discriminate with our legislation.
Correct. Which... hats off, tip of the cap to Fuhrer Baker on that one.
Yeah, and then you can have that fucking tip of the cap back August 1st, my ass.
Yeah, well, he's a fucking loser.
Fucking douchebag.
But he said one good thing. So I have to be fair. I will rake him over the coals.
He was fine from Thanksgiving.
I know. I will rake him over the coals for being a fucking loser, but when he does something or says something right, I also have to give him credit.
He was fine from Thanksgiving to like a month ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if he's going to come out and say Massachusetts will not have a vaccine passport because minorities typically aren't getting the vaccine,
yeah, that's one of.
Therefore, it would be discrimination. You know what? Good on you, Chucky Bright Lights, for saying something good. And that's what I mean. Like, I have to be fair.
What's the part
I will criticize you when you do something wrong, but I will praise you when you do or say something good.
Yeah, and this is the part that white people fuck up. Because it's like, oh, vaccine passport. Like, we should really have them because, like, people should be allowed to travel, like, only if they're vaccinated. Like, if you're not vaccinated, like, you shouldn't be allowed to go anywhere. And it's like, all right, super liberal approach, got it, no problem, whatever. You think like that, you're an idiot. Fine. Yeah. Minorities don't want to get the vaccine. It's discriminatory to put in the vaccine passport and just sit there and watch their fucking heads explode.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just pose it as a question and say like, oh, you're in support of vaccine passports? Well, yeah, obviously we have to be safe and we have to be on planes and you can't travel, you know, all this. All right. So statistically, about only 33% of minorities are receiving the vaccine. So what would you say to someone if they asked, you know, do you think vaccine passports are discriminatory against minorities? But I would love to watch, like, just have that scenario play out because you are
baited them.
You're baiting them into it. But I would love that. I love shit like that. I love doing that. I love being a dick. It like brings me pleasure to like be an asshole.
Wait, being one or sitting on one?
Well, probably both. So before I got way off track.
Yeah. So what was your point?
So the vaccine stuff. Pfizer, Moderna,
Yep.
they all said whatever you need a booster, whatever.
Yep.
So Pfizer released their earnings for Q1 of 2021.
Sure was low.
They earned, here's another one. Make sure you guys are sitting down for this one. 3.5 billion, that's with a B, as in Bob, dollars, just on the COVID-19 vaccine.
Ooh-wee. 3.5
billion with a B dollars just from the COVID vaccine in Q1 of 2021.
So it's not going anywhere for Q2, so that's 7.
So from January to March, they earned $3.5 billion in revenue, which I know is different than gross profit, but they brought in $3.5 billion only on the vaccine. Now, Pfizer is a massive pharmaceutical company.
It's also only one company.
Yes. You may know Pfizer as the parent company of Viagra. I believe they also own, they might also own Dr. Scholl's.
They own a shitload of stuff.
They have a lot of stuff. They own one of I think one of the toothpaste companies, maybe not Crest or Colgate, but whatever the fucking other one is. They own a lot of shit. And they just made $3.5 billion off of a vaccine.
Free money.
In 3 months.
Free money. Free guaranteed money.
Yeah. So
that's a shitload.
Yes.
In my professional opinion.
Representing nearly a quarter of its total revenue. So
14.
3.5 times 4 is 14. So they earned $14 billion between January and March of 2021. And $3.5 billion of that was from one thing. From one thing.
Which is why they need the boosters to keep going, because they're going to be needed right around Q3.
You ready for this? The drug giant, this is from The Hill, which is pretty legit. The Hill is pretty down the line. The drug giant said it expects the vaccine alone to earn about $26 billion in total revenue in 2021.
That is so much money.
Based on signed contracts as of mid-April. The company's previous forecast. So this is, because they're a publicly traded company. So if you own stock in companies, they send out their forecast. You can get all this shit. It's all available. The company's previous forecast for the 2021 year was $15 billion. They were projected to make $15 billion this entire year.
And they did it in Q1.
They did 14.6 in 3 months. An increase of 45% compared to Q1 of 2020. But yeah, they're in it to help people. They're in it because they want to save the world.
Definitely not money driven.
They're definitely not in it to make more money. And the fact that they're oh yeah, by the way, you guys need a booster. Oh, wait a second. We made our entire yearly projected earnings in 1 quarter. Yeah, you're going to have to get this shot probably 3 times a year. Yeah, you're going to need a booster. So this is going to be awesome is because they're going to come out and be yeah, well, you get your first shot, and then a month later, you get your second shot, and then 6 months after that, you're going to have to get a booster. But then they're going to pick 3 months after the booster, you're going to have to get another booster. So it's so my third shot was less effective than the first 2. They're going to pull some stupid bullshit like that. They have just locked in as a. This is the closest thing to a sure bet as you can get. When you get locked into free money from the government that you don't have to pay back because it's not student loans.
I got breaking news.
What do we got?
As of last night, medical experts say that a vaccinated person cannot shed vaccine spike proteins. That was the headline, not a little words. Mm-hmm. Scientists and doctors say that it is impossible for a vaccinated person to affect an unvaccinated person by proxy. Multiple fact checkers have confirmed that a vaccinated person cannot shed spike proteins to unvaccinated people. So, this is like, I'm just like on the general Twitter.
Yeah.
So, PolitiFact, do we like them? They have a blue check mark.
Sure.
Medical experts and the CDC say it's not biologically possible to affect unvaccinated people.
Well, we don't like biology anymore because biology tells us there's only two genders.
ABC 10, don't know what they are.
So we have to listen to scientists when they tell us stuff that we like, but then anytime they say other things we don't like, well, we don't like science. Science is not good.
So now, I have a bone to pick because they are creating this narrative. I'm so pissed this isn't coming out yet. This is coming out, what, Monday?
Yeah, Monday.
I'm so pissed this isn't coming out before then. News Hub, blue check mark. Mm-hmm. Conspiracy theorists falsely claim COVID-19 vaccine is infectious through shedding. Huh. So it's the conspiracy theorists that are saying vaccinated people can affect unvaccinated people. It wasn't Fauci in the CDC.
Fucking idiots.
It wasn't those people
Yeah.
who say still wear 5 to 8 masks.
Yeah. Nope. You should probably, how many come in a pack? You should probably
Just
just
put a
put the
whole
whole
box.
pack on.
Yeah, just put a whole box on.
Just walk around with a box on your face. It's more effective.
So it wasn't
Jets fans have actually been ahead of their time. Just put a fucking paper bag on your head.
So it wasn't them that so I'm getting mad and I can barely speak. So now the narrative is, oh, it's the conspiracy theorists that say it's gonna spread. Why the fuck would they say that?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It would only be the people that are like, oh, let's prolong this thing.
Yeah.
We gotta wait.
Yeah.
Still wear your masks, still distance, still stay closed.
I literally got an email from my work, from the person that runs HR, that said something along the lines of like, well, the CDC or Dr. Fauci, whatever, like, still isn't sure. This was back in like January, February when the vaccine was just rolling out. And they were like, well, we still don't know. There's no scientific evidence that shows that if you get vaccinated, you can't spread the disease. So you have to still wear your mask. This is literally like, I can probably pull it up somewhere.
New York Times, quote, in reality, it is impossible to experience any effects from being near a vaccinated person because none of the vaccine ingredients are capable of leaving the body they were injected into. Oh, this is different. This is different. This is saying because these people have been vaccinated, something from the vaccine would then spread to people. So because it's an mRNA vaccine, there is no piece of it's just instructions, really.
Yeah.
Because there's no instructions in because those people only received instructions, those people can't pass it on to unvaccinated people. I think that's what shedding means, because shedding keeps coming up in quotes, but not like double quotes, like single quote. Yeah. And I don't know the difference, but yeah. So I guess if you're still fuck, this doesn't actually change anything. This is what happens when you're stupid. So vaccinated people theoretically could still spread the virus, but they would have to have the virus, not just from the vaccine. That makes sense? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, nope, never mind. Not breaking news. Nothing has changed.
I don't know. I like what we said before.
Yeah, I would
stick
like
with that.
I would like to go with that too.
Yeah. So part 2 of, well, also I think it's very interesting that Pfizer releases their Q1 earnings and then literally like within a week later, Moderna comes out and goes, yeah, you need a booster for us too.
Oh fuck, they're making that much.
Yeah. So, you know what had happened? And to go back to a point that I had said earlier, I will criticize you when you are wrong, and I will praise you when you do something right. Well, President Biden, the greatest president in the history of the United States, has been in support of waiving the IP, so the intellectual property of COVID vaccines, citing that this is a global health crisis and it is more important to get this vaccine, the intellectual property of how to create the vaccines, everywhere in the world, rather than companies make a profit off of this. To which I say, tip of the cap to Joey B up there. Because this is the thing, and this is where it always comes back to this. It's the if-then statements here. If this virus is as bad and as deadly as we are being told, then I 100% support Joe Biden saying he wants to release the IP for these vaccines to the rest of the world. Because the virus is super deadly. We have information to create vaccines. Why should
There's
we?
only 4 companies that make them, and one I don't even think anyone's even getting it. AstraZeneca.
Yeah, it's not approved in the U.S.
Well, if you ask like the super hard right people, none of it's improved. It's only
Yeah.
improved for an emergency.
Yeah, that's true too.
None of it's FDA.
Actually, you know
approved.
what's funny? Funny enough, you know what I've heard is that the Sputnik vaccine is actually the best one out of all of them.
Who the fuck's the Sputnik vaccine?
It's the Russian version.
No figure.
Yeah.
No figure. Go figure. No shit.
They named their vaccine after fucking Sputnik. But yeah, apparently that
I'll take
one's-
theirs.
that
Maybe
one's
it's got
better.
steroids in it.
Probably, I would hope so. So this is the thing. Biden came out and said, this thing is bad. We need to release the IPs. So the way that works, if you guys don't really understand how that works, is when a company creates something, they own the intellectual property, which then they file a patent through the U.S. Patent Bureau, whatever. They go through the whole thing. So anytime someone wants to use that intellectual property, they have to pay the company. So Pfizer, we'll stick with Pfizer here, owns the intellectual property behind the Pfizer vaccine. It's more complicated than that because they split it with BioNTech, but whatever. We're keeping it simple here. Pfizer owns their IP for their vaccine. If, I don't know, Steve's Apothecary wants to acquire the IP to create their own vaccine based off of Pfizer because it's already been done and it already exists, they have to pay Pfizer an exorbitant amount of money lest they be taken to court for intellectual property theft.
And guaranteed to lose.
Yes. So that's the whole thing. Like essentially the way it works is Pfizer owns the IP to their vaccine. Therefore, they're the only ones that can make their vaccine, which is why we have vaccines from different companies that are all different. The Pfizer vaccine is 95% effective at stopping you from stub your toe. The Moderna vaccine is 93% effective at, stopping you from falling down the stairs. And then the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is only 60% effective, but it's probably still fine anyway. And then the AstraZeneca one is I don't know, maybe
that one sucks.
That's 87% effective. So it's not as good as Pfizer or Moderna, so we can't approve it here. But even though it's higher than Johnson & Johnson, we still can't have it because it's probably not based in the United States.
Because of South Africa.
Yeah, there's something stupid. So these are the only real companies outside of the Russian government that has Sputnik that have intellectual properties about these vaccines. And Biden is saying, I want to open this up for the rest of the world so that any company, anywhere, any drug company can use this patent to create the vaccine.
Can't have that.
Which again, I say, good for you. Joe Biden. Good for you, President Biden, for saying this is a global pandemic. We have companies here that have the solution. We need to share the solution with everyone else. Again, if this is this bad that we're being told and we're being led to believe, 100% behind this decision by Joe Biden. Well, what do you think the companies said once Joe Biden came out and said, we should really release the intellectual property to the rest of the world?
Probably walked in the Oval Office, took out their piece, dropped it right on his fucking desk.
Yep. They are pissed because, see previous topic, Pfizer just made $3.5 billion in Q1.
That will be problematic for their profits.
So if they are forced to release the intellectual property, they lose a lot of money. Like a lot of money. So they are rip shit. So what is the propaganda being spewed from the side of Big Pharma, who already is like probably the number one producer of in the top 3 producers of propaganda in the entire world, is the Big Pharma, the pharmaceutical industry. Well, what's being peddled now? Well, you can't release the intellectual property because it's unsafe.
Yeah, it's not safe.
People would make unsafe vaccines because they literally, their argument is, this is terrible because people that don't know what they're doing are going to be creating these vaccines. And I look at that and I go, yep, you're right. Me and Bob are going to sit here right now.
We're going to break out our Bunsen burner.
On camera. We're going to go a live episode where this is how we're going to get YouTube famous, is because the second the pen from Joe Biden's fucking, the ink from Joe Biden's pen hits that fucking piece of paper that releases the intellectual property, we're going to sit right here and we're going to create our own fucking Pfizer vaccine. Yep, you got it. Yeah. Yep.
We're going to run...
Yep.
So
that's exactly what's going to happen.
We're going to break out the beakers, the graduated cylinders, and the Bunsen burners.
Yep.
Then we're going to create a vaccine. We're going to get lots of people to test it so we can have our randomized, controlled, whatever the fuck. And we'll have enough funding to go through the steps it needs to go through. So, yeah, we're just going to do that.
Who was Beaker's boss? It was Mr. Bunsen. Bunsen Honeydew. But, like, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do.
Yep.
It's going to be, you release the intellectual property and it's going to be dickheads like us.
Yep.
That are going to make the vaccine. It's not going to be
pharmaceutical
It's not going to be other pharmaceutical companies. Why would they do it? They're not going to do it because then it would be safe. It's going to be dickheads. You're going to get bootleg vaccines. You're going to have fucking trap houses in Compton in LA. Instead of making meth, they're going to start making COVID vaccines.
Instead of like coming back from Downtown Crossing with fireworks, the Thunder Kings and fucking handguns.
Yeah.
Like the fucking kid that was trying to sell me a fucking 9mm when I was in the 8th grade. He's going to go down to Downtown Crossing and get fucking bootleg vaccines.
Yeah. That's the fucking problem. But like, this is the thing.
You want that vaccine?
If you can't see through that bullshit, again, you're an idiot. Like if you're this like staunch like right wing person that's like, well, you can't release this because it's for safety reasons. It's like no. This is where I side with the liberal people. It's, if this thing is really that bad, then
we shouldn't have restrictions on who can make vaccines.
Exactly. The more people that get it, the more people we can protect, right? Because that's what this is all
about.
That's
what the government does.
Because that's what this is all about, right? We have to protect people. It's all in the greater good, the interest of the greater good, right? That's what we do. That's what everyone says. Except when, rubber meets the road, no one wants to do what's actually good for the greater good. It's like, what are we doing here? But people can't see through that. Again, people are fucking idiots. You got idiots everywhere. We're surrounded by idiots.
I'm a huge idiot.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? You know what's funny is that I heard an amazing description of this the other day from Dan Holloway on the Drinking Bros podcast. Shout out to Dan. He goes,
"Sup, Dan?"
He goes, similar to us. He goes, everyone is a fucking moron. Everyone's an idiot. And I forget what guest they had on the show, but the guest turns and goes, you're right. And in turn, you are someone else's idiot. And they were like, yeah, that's probably right. So like we look at the world and we're like, you guys are fucking idiots. But like someone else will look at it and like, I'm an idiot to them. You know what I mean? And it's like then that's the whole point, is that everyone is an idiot.
Yeah, you're someone's idiot.
Yes. Everyone is someone else's idiot.
I mean, I just start with myself. I don't need to look any further. I don't need anyone else to be an idiot for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that on my own.
Yeah, I take up a lot of it.
Yeah. So then the other thing I would say is like, you know, if we want these companies to hold on to the intellectual properties of everything and not give it out, then I would say, well, clearly this thing isn't that bad then.
Yeah, if
you support, you know, Pfizer and Moderna holding on to their IPs and not releasing it to the rest of the world, well, this mustn't be that bad.
Well, so what I will say is some people do think that there will be some level of perception that, oh, well, Pfizer and Moderna, well, because they did it first, right? So they're the best.
Yeah.
They did it first. They're the best. So we'll just keep it with them because they were the originals. So despite some smaller company probably potentially doing it better,
Yeah.
like maybe taking their same technology and doing it in one shot and not requiring a booster.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think I'd rather go with Moderna. Especially when given the option. Like, it is mind-blowing. So you have 3 options of vaccine right now. One is one shot. And I don't know many people who have had it, so I don't know what the immune response is. Whatever. Pfizer, 2 shots. Your arm hurts like shit after each shot. Mm-hmm. And some people get sick the next day. Some people kind of don't. Whatever. Moderna, 2 shots. And that's a 3-week in between. Moderna, 2 shots. 4 weeks in between. Hurts like hell to get the shot in your arm. And everyone I know that's gotten Moderna that is under the age of 70 has felt horrible the next day. So there's definitely some company out there that can meet in the middle with all of it.
Yeah.
And say, we can do this in one shot. We cannot require a booster. And you won't feel like fucking hell all the time.
Yeah.
And someone would still say, oh, you know what? I think I'll take the Moderna. I'll wait 28 days in between shots. I'll
2 shots.
Well, because 2 shots.
Yeah.
Because 3 shots. Because 4 shots.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, 2 masks, you know. If I get 2 shots, now I got to wear 2 masks.
Yeah.
I do everything in 2s. COVID is a disease of 2s.
Everything more is better. Much more better.
Yeah.
And someone would come around and be like, yeah, so we took all the shitty parts of all 3 and just kind of got rid of them.
Yeah.
We have the best vaccine.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine if someone did that.
It's like golf clubs. Like,
yeah.
Fucking Callaway sucks. Like, Odyssey makes good putters and Callaway owns Odyssey, but it's not Callaway. Like, their ball sucks, their clubs suck.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fucking obvious that, like, with the golf clubs, TaylorMade makes the best drivers and woods. Mizuno makes the best irons. Vokey probably makes the best wedges, although I hear there's some place in Texas that makes fucking boss-ass wedges. And putter's a little bit of a crapshoot. Maybe it's Odyssey. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yet, you have all these companies like Ping spending all this money.
Cleveland's a big one. They're more wedges
anymore.
and putters.
Yeah, not anymore. It's kind of like an old guy brand in a way.
Cobra used to be huge.
Well, Cobra used to be owned by Titleist.
Yeah.
So you have Titleist. Notice I didn't mention not Vokey Wedges is owned by Titleist, but not one Titleist club, which is what my entire bag is.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, I think my whole bag is
TaylorMade. Well, they're all golf clubs, and it's like, yeah. So Mizuno, the one you hear the least about, probably has the best irons.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, what's best for you isn't what's best for me, isn't what's best for fucking Brooks Koepka.
Right.
But, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Because that's what we saw with all the guys that lost when Nike stopped making clubs. That's what everyone went to. All of those guys went TaylorMade long clubs, Mizuno irons, Vokey wedges, and I think they were using whatever fucking putter they were using before.
Yeah.
Or a Scotty Cameron, because whatever, they're cool.
Yeah, because they look cool.
Although sometimes you pick up their $3,000 putter and you can still miss. It's amazing. And it's like this, but it would be like the same thing with the vaccines. It's like Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson could be the worst vaccine makers, and we just don't know.
Yeah,
They could be. Like these could be the 3 worst versions of the vaccine.
they were just the first. Like
they
just
were just
because
the
you're the
first.
first doesn't mean you're necessarily the best.
No, because it gives the other companies. So while you're sitting there mass producing your thing,
How is Atari doing right now?
probably pretty good.
They were the first video game console, right?
Well, what did everyone used to say about? So it started.
How is Sega doing right now?
Yeah, do they
you know
own
what I mean?
anything? Probably not.
Yeah. What's Ford? What's
no,
Ford
Nintendo.
doing?
No, just go down the line. Atari, Nintendo,
Gone.
Sega.
Gone.
What is it now? It's PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah. They didn't come around until the late 90s. Mid
So
to
I
late-
remember Xbox. That was probably early 2000s.
Yeah.
The first Xbox.
I think PlayStation 1 might have came out like 95-ish.
Something like that, probably. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe a touch later, but I know PS2 came in right around 2001, 2002, something like that.
Oh, dude, fucking nailed it, buddy.
95?
1995.
Yeah.
PlayStation 1.
Those ain't new.
No.
And the originals are fucking phased themselves out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you said, Cobra Clubs used to be good.
Yeah.
Fucking
Like just because you're the
Cobra Clubs are
first at
goofy
something
now.
doesn't mean that you're the best. In all honesty, you're
It
actually
means you're
probably the worst.
It just no. What it means is you were the first.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yes.
Just means you were the first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Moderna, Pfizer, they were just the first.
Right.
Right now, there are no other options except J&J. So, yeah, they're the best because that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like maybe GlaxoSmithKline will come out with something that's in the middle. You know what I mean?
Doesn't Pfizer own? Don't they own Pfizer?
No, I think they're separate.
I think they own Pfizer because that was one of the conspiracy theories that GSK owned.
No, GlaxoSmithKline. They're their own. They have their own stock handle. It's the world's sixth largest pharmaceutical company according to Forbes after Pfizer, Novartis, Roche, Sanofi, and Merck and Co. So they're not the same. There's Bayer. Like maybe Bayer will come out with something. You know what I mean? Like all these companies. I remember you had that. It
Yeah,
was
and
like
I know it
something.
was. I know it. Again, the first sentence was wrong. I know that. But why is it not Glaxo? No, it's definitely GlaxoSmithKline. Why did I think this? Could have sworn.
They have a joint venture. So GSK and Pfizer in December of 2018 announced that they were going to combine their consumer healthcare divisions into a single entity.
Okay. Anyway, so again, imagine that an email that I debunked in the first sentence was fucking incorrect.
Yeah.
That must be what it is. I must have looked it up like I thought it. Like I must have actually thought it was true. They definitely don't own Pfizer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they just work together on their consumer healthcare divisions.
Maybe it was something else. Who
To
the
make
fuck
some other
knows?
shit.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah. That was all that was. But yeah, no, just because you're the first doesn't mean you're the best.
No, it typically means you suck.
Like I said, how's Ford doing?
Found on road dead.
People fucking hate Ford.
Yeah.
They were the first car. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if I
How's Chevy doing?
yeah, if I polled people and was like, what if you could have any car in the world? If I guarantee, I would put money on this. If you polled 100 people and said if you could have any car in the world, price not like price doesn't matter, you could just get it for free, whatever. You could have any car in the world. What car would you pick? I guarantee 0 out of 100 people would pick a Ford.
The only, maybe one dumbass picks a Ford Raptor because, again, they're a hillbilly
Yeah.
fucking moron.
Yeah. Or like they would go like a 1994 Ford Bronco or something like that. But like,
No, or some idiot would pick a Mustang, but...
yeah. Like, no one likes Ford. Ford sucks. They're from Detroit. The city is just full of suck.
What's wrong with Detroit, dude?
Like, their sports teams suck. Their cars suck. Like, they measure their city by mile marker.
Fuck their pizza, too,
Yeah.
right?
Fuck the pizza. It all sucks. There's no Detroit cuisine. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here.
What's Detroit pizza? Is that... I don't know. It's something weird.
I feel like it's like knockoff New York pizza.
No, it's something dumb.
Detroit style pizza. It's it's like Sicilian. It's rectangular pizza with a thick crust that's crispy and chewy. Traditionally topped with tomato sauce and Wisconsin brick cheese that goes all the way to the edges. So it's Sicilian pizza with no crust.
Oh, sick, dude.
Sick.
Awesome.
I'll take Sicilian pizza
Every day.
over Detroit pizza.
Every day.
Yeah.
It's all the worst parts of a fucking
Yeah.
Sicilian pizza. The fucking middle.
Yeah. Oh, but it's got Wisconsin grown cheese. You can fuck right off.
Sick, Detroit.
Hey, you can fuck Wisconsin too while you're at it.
Yeah. I don't need fucking Wisconsin cheese.
Yeah. Well, we do have some good news before we get into wrapping this up. This could potentially make Finn. I think it's Finn and Jimo. They could be pretty pumped about this, but not for the reason that you guys are going to think immediately. We'll bring that up after. New York City has passed. I don't know, an ordinance. I don't know. It's from the district attorney. I don't know. The district attorney can't pass laws or anything, but like the district attorney in New York City has decided that they will no longer be prosecuting prostitution. So it is now, for all intents and purposes, legal to prostitute yourself in New York City. Now, I know a lot of people are going to come after me and be like, well, it doesn't mean legal. Yeah, I know. But they're not being prosecuted. So essentially the worst thing that's going to happen is like the cops might show up and like break it up and say like, get the fuck out of here. Like get off the corner. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to be arrested. They're not going to be tried. They're not going to be prosecuted. They're not. New York, the city of New York is no longer prosecuting people for prostitution.
They're called sex workers.
True. My mistake. This is from the New York Times. So the New York Times is no longer woke.
Yeah. It's fucking sickening.
So the district attorney, Cyrus Vance Jr., that sounds like, I don't know. It sounds weird. It sounds like a fake name. Moved to dismiss thousands of cases dating back decades amid a growing movement to change the criminal justice system's approach to prostitution. So, no longer being prosecuted for prostitution. So, Finn and potentially Jimo.
I don't know if Jimo was involved with this.
But definitely Mr. Finn.
Finn
Is all about, here's your opportunity for a union.
Yep.
You guys can unionize.
Yep. Unionize.
Finn has been all about unionizing prostitutes.
Would we lump? I think it started with strippers.
Oh, yeah.
So would we lump strippers in with sex workers?
Yes. So
They're all the same. It's just
I think
softcore, hardcore.
I think yeah, literally. I think the term sex worker is a blanket term, and I think prostitute is specific and stripper is specific. Like they're both sex workers, but they're not like
An escort's just another way to say prostitute.
essentially, yeah. An escort is like a really expensive prostitute. Someone who will like follow you around after too. Or like go with you to things. Like you call a prostitute, like you're just calling a prostitute to bang.
Just sex, yeah.
If you have an escort, like they might come with you to dinner and then have sex with you.
For money.
Yeah. Or like go to a party or something and then have sex with you for money.
Okay.
So an escort is a really expensive prostitute, but it's also like, a little higher.
Extra.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Cold Stone versus Dairy Queen. The prostitute is Dairy Queen. The escort is Cold Stone Creamery. It's a little bit nicer.
They sing to you when you tip them.
It's a little more expensive, but it's a better product, They make it right in front of you. You know exactly what you're getting. Dairy Queen, you don't know what's going on in the back. You have no idea what they're putting in that blizzard. Sex work and ice cream. That's what you're going to get here on Sarcasm Speaks.
But Finn's been saying
Yeah.
they lack representation.
Yes, they do. They deserve to have fair union rights. They have the right to earn a living wage.
And I don't even think he's like a massive union guy. I think he's just really looking out for them.
I think so, yeah, because they're an underserved population.
Yeah.
So if anyone knows any union heads, yeah, you better start branching out.
Well, I'm trying to think, like, what would it take to be your own union head?
Yeah, can anyone just create a union? Can we create it?
Probably have to threaten some people.
Yeah.
Or intimidate some people. I'm not threatening or intimidating.
Yeah.
Because, like, how else...
Can we be the local 69?
Like, how...
With the sex workers union, the local 69.
Well, we got a name for it. That's usually the hardest part.
I don't know, dude. I think we're like 75% of the way there.
Well, it's like, you gotta... I think what has to happen, you need some muscle.
Yeah.
Because the way that this is going to have to, like, really work is in the trenches. So you're going to have to fuck up some strip club owners, and they're usually coked out. So they've got, like, a level of strength that just simply can't be matched by a mere mortal. So that's definitely an issue. And that's all you're really doing is hitting up. You're really just hitting the strip club owners.
Yeah.
Trying to get, better rights or bennies or I don't know. Whatever,
Yeah, they deserve benefits. I think that's what Finn was all about. He goes, I think...
Like health insurance?
Yeah, and like dental.
Yeah.
He was like, I think strippers should be able to get dental insurance.
I mean, really, that's a good business decision.
It is a really good business decision.
Yeah. That should definitely be reimbursable.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Fuck, I need him because I don't know if he had a thing too where there were reimbursements for plastic surgery. Oh. As almost like job expenses.
Yeah, you can expense a fucking boob job.
Like any type of job, Botox.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like, to keep up.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we can Zoom him.
We might have to.
Get him in.
You know what's funny though? He never shuts up. If we bring him on to talk about that,
yeah,
he won't say much.
No. Like,
I don't know. I mean,
it was just an idea that I had.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably baked and drunk when I said it.
It's like, come on, man, don't be humble. Like, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
And now you have the opportunity for it.
Yeah. I don't think Jamal had anything to do with it.
No.
Maybe he may have been in the same room.
Yeah, because
this is Finn's idea.
Or maybe they were arguing and Jimo was anti-union. I don't know. I vaguely remember the two of them going at. I mean, they go at it about like dumb shit all the time. Anyway,
fucking must have been a blue moon that night.
Yeah, yeah. We were probably drinking Blue Moons. No, we weren't. We were drinking Bud Lights.
No, Blue Moon sucks.
Yeah, Blue Moon is not good.
And there was a 5 minutes where I actually wanted to drink because I really like UFO Belgian White or UFO White.
Yeah,
I like those. And Blue Moon suck in comparison. And none of them touch the Leinenkugel Fruity Pebble beer, which I don't remember what it actually is. It just tastes like Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with Fruity Pebbles. Sunset Wheat, maybe Sunset Wheat Leinenkugel.
It's not the Shandy. The Shandy's not that good.
No.
And everyone shits their pants over the Leinenkugel Summer Shandy, and it's like, it's not that good, guys. It's really not that good.
There is not one summer beer that I would even consider drinking willingly.
Yeah.
Like Sam Summer sucks.
Yep.
The Leinenkugel Summer Shandy. I just like, I don't know, whatever. Remember when like Leinenkugel used to be like the fancy beer?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got Leinenkugel.
Remember when shandies were like the thing? Everyone had a fucking shandy. Now everyone has a seltzer. But like, I don't know.
Leinenkugel made a grapefruit shandy, I think.
Yeah.
Imagine taking like the shittiest fruit ever and turning it into some underwhelming beer.
Yeah.
And be like, who got fired for that? Who was sitting there? It's like, who is it? Who does the bit for the guy who came up with the map song for Dora the Explorer? Oh, Brian Regan does it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that guy definitely just wasn't paying attention, just saying I'm the map over and over. But like, who the fuck sat there and goes, all right, Leinenkugel, big beer company, can make whatever we want. Shandies are cool. People like shandies. It's like fruity. Summer shandy, we do that. You know what we need to do? Grapefruit.
Yeah.
Grapefruit.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. My grandfather ate grapefruit. Fucking weirdo.
Yeah, mine did too. They had a grapefruit spoon.
Yeah. No, like they ate grape, like.
Yeah, they had the spoon with the fucking serrated edge on the top.
Oh, yeah.
It was a grapefruit spoon.
Yes.
Literally, your only purpose in life is to be a spoon that's used to eat grapefruit.
Yeah, I think it's an old Italian thing.
Yeah.
And like, I think my mother like felt compelled to like eat grapefruit because my grandfather did. So like sometimes it'd be like a grapefruit in the house and I'm just like, why does this orange suck?
Yeah. Why can't I peel this?
Like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
Fucking grapefruit shandy.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. I think that's why.
Well, they did it. That's what I mean. Like when we were in college, the thing was shandy. So like Sam Adams came, like the Traveler shandies, like all of those, like the.
I haven't had much shandy, I will say.
It was a big thing like 10 years ago.
Well, it's like fruity and light.
Yeah, now it's seltzer. It will, and then tucked in between there was the Four Locos. But like, there's always something. Like, there's always, for a little while, it was Bud Light Platinums, and then it was
Bud Light Lime.
Then it was the Black Crowns. You know what I mean? Like, it was the high alcohol beers. And now for the last 5 years, it's been about craft beer. And now we're shifting into seltzer time. You know what I mean? Like, there's always these fads.
And actually, so seltzers are actually on their way out for mixed drinks in a can.
Yes.
Which, Tuca's long drink or whatever.
Smacks.
Guess what? Well, the black strong one.
Yeah.
Guess what it has in it?
That's grapefruit.
Grapefruit.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, why does this taste like off? Is it like, is there vodka in here? Because I don't like vodka.
Yeah.
I mean, I drink it, but
Yeah.
I mean, against my better judgment. Nope. Grapefruit.
Yeah. When Amy and I bought them, we bought the strong ones, so the black cans, and then the cranberry ones. And we got them, and I was like, well, it says strong on it. Like, this is for me. And then Amy likes cranberry. And then I drank it, and I was like, I don't really like this. And then I drank the cranberry one, and I go, that's fucking delicious. And then she drank the cranberry one and was like, it's okay.
Tastes like Christmas trees.
And then drank the black one and was like, this is amazing. So I was like, well, I guess we're just going to switch. So, but yeah, no, the mixed drink in a can, that is the next.
It's already here.
Yeah.
They're fucking everywhere.
Yeah. You know what kind of had it first was Fisher's.
Yeah.
Fisher's Island.
Yep. No, they did have it first.
Yeah. Those are fucking delicious. I might go get some.
I think Dark and Stormy's come in a can, but I don't think
They do.
I don't think they pack any kind of punch.
No. They come in little baby bitch ass cans too.
Yeah.
Like the 8-ounce cans.
Fuck, imagine drinking like 15 of those. Do you know how fucking bloated you would be?
Oh my God.
Like all the sugar and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Puffy.
Very puffy. Well, I think it's about that time. So you want to wrap this bitch up?
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
All right.
So in the event of why, frankly, we all suck at golf. And I mean, I'm pretty good at golf, but I fucking suck at golf. Couple things in the last couple days, or a couple weeks ago, very innocently, she just really doesn't know. But Michaela's mother asked me, it's like, oh, did you ever think about playing professionally? And I didn't laugh in her face. But I was like, no, I'm really not good enough. I'm like, there are guys in tournaments that I play who I can't compete with.
Yeah.
And they
Can't be professional.
can't play professionally,
Yes.
even at a significantly lower level than what you are thinking
They
of.
can't even make the Corn Ferry tour.
They can't even make the Canadian tour.
Yeah.
They're playing on the fucking Hooters tour.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's like, there's the every time, once a year, there's U.S. Open qualifying. Anyone with a 2.4 or better can go to U.S. Open qualifying. And did you ever play with Pat the Lefty?
I don't think so.
Okay. Good player. Really doesn't have it right now. I fucking kind of throttled him on the front today, and that should not happen. Me and him should really have a close match, like we should every time. So he didn't have it. I went 5 up through 9.
Wow.
And he's talking about whatever. I mean, just bad day.
Yeah.
So he did U.S. Open qualifying. Went out there, shot an 89. I thought it was pretty good given the circumstances. There's some idiot that went 2 under.
Jesus.
And that idiot might not even get to the next stage.
Wow.
So, like, these people are good.
Yeah.
Like, they really are good. Lo and behold, today, got a 2022 graduate who just shot 70 to get through local. So, the way U.S. Open qualifying goes is you have local qualifying, which is like, depending on the state, a few spots. Like,
Yeah.
so Massachusetts had 3 sites, and I think it's 5 players from each site. I think Columbus, Ohio has like 20 guys that go through, like whatever.
Yeah.
So you get through local, then you got to go to sectional. That's where Columbus, Ohio has 20 guys.
Okay.
But like there might be one in New York where 3 guys get through.
Yeah.
And then there's like 6 in Florida where 4 each get through. Like it's
Yeah.
weird. So sectional is more regional
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this 2022 graduate, that's from middle school. This kid's 13 and just shot 70 in local U.S. Open qualifying from men's tees, typically tips.
Right. So those are like the gold tees or the black tees. For
It's
those
just
of you
as
that
far
don't know.
back.
Yeah, they're as far back.
We're
as you can get.
talking 7,000 yards plus or minus 200. Us in Massachusetts would be closer to 68, 67. Those in warmer places would be 772.
Yep.
13 years old. 13.
Good. Where is he from?
Good question. I have no idea.
Huh. Probably California or Florida, if I had to guess. Somewhere warm.
I believe he's wearing a short sleeve shirt and shorts, so anywhere but here. Because it's so fucking cold here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to go to sectional qualifying.
Wow.
So in the, and he's 13 years old. So in the like, oh, I know someone who's good at golf. They're a single digit handicap.
Yeah, well, they're not that good.
Yeah, they're not that good.
Yeah.
You're just an idiot like me.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. I think I've said that to you before. Because obviously I've gone out and I played with you and James and like Chris, like guys that are like really fucking good. And I go, it is wild to me to like play with you guys and realize you guys aren't that good compared to like the legit pro. Like it's really difficult to wrap my head around how good these guys actually are.
My jaw drops when watching guys that are just good in the state of Massachusetts, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and the fucked up part, so tour pros notwithstanding, like if you are like a tour pro, you do not meet this criteria. Guys that are like good locally, you think it's like they're driving greens and throwing it in tight to pins and
Yeah.
nope. They don't do anything fucking special,
Nope.
but they don't fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out how not to fuck up.
Yeah. Well, it's the same idea as weightlifting was. You know, like I would like locally, like Derek and I were really good. We were always on the podium at every local competition.
Yeah.
And then we get to the nationals and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I suck.
Freaks.
I suck.
Yeah, because then when you get to the PGA Tour, they hit it way fucking farther than everybody else.
Yep.
They hit it way fucking straighter than everybody else.
Yep.
They hit all of their approach shots way fucking better than everybody else.
Yep.
And they putt significantly better than everybody fucking else.
Yeah. You imagine, like, if I hit an absolute fucking piss missile and it stays straight, I could drive the ball 275.
And if I hit a ball in the summer with roll, I mean, like, if I really hit it,
Yeah.
290.
Yeah.
Bryson carries 305.
Yep. Yep. He can hit it 330.
Now-
Rory can hit it 310, 320 plus.
I could move to Texas
Yeah.
and then I could start carrying it further.
Yeah.
But
DJ hits it well over 3. Like all these guys,
That's the thing.
even if you find, I don't know, I'm trying to, Phil Mickelson.
still hits bombs.
He's 50 years old
You want Webb. So Webb Simpson.
and he hits fucking bombs.
So like Webb Simpson reliably carries it 275,
Yeah.
which is for what a lot of people is. And my 290, I'm talking like this is like my unicorn drive.
Oh yeah. It's downhill, downwind.
No, because the longest drive I've ever had, downhill, downwind, hard hop is 312.
Yeah. Was that at Green Hill?
No, it was at I did it at Pine Hills.
Ah.
And I remember because I lasered.
Yeah.
But that was downhill, downwind, hard hop, like massive hop. Like we saw this thing
Yeah.
like fucking jump.
Yeah.
312. That is like average for Bryson. Now, if they played all PGA Tour events in Massachusetts, those numbers would come down. And if I went and played in Texas or Arizona, my numbers would go up.
Right. The ball travels farther in warmer air.
But their numbers may come down 10 yards.
Yeah.
And mine might go up 10 yards.
Yeah.
We're still fucking very far apart from each other.
Yes.
And that's the difference with like the best of the best, the tour pros, you know, the top 200.
Yeah.
And that includes some Corn Ferry guys. They hit fucking bombs.
Yeah.
And they're really good with their irons. Guys that are good locally that I look at and go, they weren't good enough to make it, but they're good enough to fucking really fucking make me look like an idiot.
Yeah.
They strike the ball really well. Doesn't sometimes far, sometimes not, and they don't make any fucking mistakes. That's what the difference is.
Yeah. Yeah. So like last week, I was just looking at it because I have the card in front of me. But last week on the 8th hole at Chemawa, I drove the ball. I was downwind and I drove the ball like just past the green on the left side.
Yep.
So that hole is 265. So I probably hit it somewhere around 270.
Yep.
You know, it's like
Downhill, downwind. You probably hit the green and it rolled through the green, which is obviously you get extra roll because it's
right.
cut tighter.
Right. So it's one of those where like if I absolutely hit a fucking nuke, I can hit a 270, which is 60 yards shorter than Bryson. And 50 yards shorter than most everyone else.
It's probably even
half a fucking football
you compared
field.
your best to their average.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, my best to their average. My
Is
average is probably somewhere between
3 or 4 clubs.
I would say my average is probably like 255.
Probably not. Because every time you get one up and caught up in the air,
Yeah.
probably only goes like 2 1/4.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Because that's
Sick.
the problem with averages.
Yeah.
Includes the bad ones. Average of good ones.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like my top 10%.
yeah.
Yeah. 13 years old.
Sick.
I don't think he'll get through sectional. Honestly, he's gonna be going up against fucking men, like professionals.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, dude, like Jason Duffner had to qualify last year. That is a fucking PGA Tour player.
yeah.
So you have current PGA Tour players, former PGA Tour players, former major champions. Lee Jansen's won 2 U.S. Opens. He still has to go to qualifying every year. This kid's 13. He doesn't stand a chance, honestly.
No, but it is a cool story.
But it's just it's also the so you want to get good at golf, huh?
Yeah.
Temper your expectations.
Oh, you want to be good at golf? Here's the number one thing you need to do. You need to start 15 years ago.
You need to you want to get good at golf. One, you need to acknowledge you suck.
Yes.
And if you can't acknowledge that you suck, you have a real problem.
Yeah.
Then you have to acknowledge that really it's just golf.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is. Like it's not like golf isn't that hard. We just suck. That's that's what you need to remember.
Right.
Golf isn't hard. We suck at it.
Right.
Because really it's hit the ball out there, hit the ball on the green,
Yeah.
putt or two, go.
Yep.
It's very simple, actually.
It is. Yeah. It's
Until you fucking duck hook one into the trees and then you're punching out, or you blade one out of a bunker and it lands on a cart path and you have to like sit there and go, where the fuck is my relief? Because it's like in the back of the cart path, which is no closer to the hole, so I got to go backwards. Oh, did I say I? Oh, sorry. I didn't think this was going to be a very personal story.
yeah.
So you got to like, figure out and like find a very small piece of grass and you try to drop on that very small piece of grass and then it jumps back and gets stuck behind a clump of grass. Yep. So now you can't actually get a club on the ball because there's this giant clump of grass.
Yep.
And then you just kind of like do your best just to fucking hack it out and it doesn't go anywhere. And you pick up the ball and go, Mike, this hole's yours.
Yeah.
All you, Mike.
Yep. There you go. It's a fun game.
Like I said, it would have been way easier if I just hit it on the green. I just suck.
If I were better, I would enjoy it more.
If I didn't suck, I wouldn't have fucking, hooked it into the bunker.
Yeah. My final thought is going to be, I'm trying to decide which one I want to go with. I'm going to go with this one just because I was just there the other day. Have you been to Medford recently? Like driven through it?
Easter.
Did you like actually go through? Or did you just go right to your parents' house?
Well, I went to my parents' house, but I did need to drive.
Well, yeah, I know.
What do you? Well, get to it.
It's totally fucking different. Like it looks nothing like what it did before.
What parts? Like I know the library's new. I saw that.
Everywhere near the old Ghetto Glen. So obviously, I remember I don't remember.
Oh, there's like there's that bullshit Verizon store in the parking lot.
Yeah, like they put that in there, and then so all of like the Wegmans
it's
thing.
It's a Dick's and a Wegmans.
Yeah, and I knew that was there, like I had seen it before, but across the street now,
which used to be Shaw's,
is all condos.
Yeah, that's a good call.
The entire length of the street from like where the LeConte rink is or was, I don't even know if LeConte's still there.
I think it still is.
But like from LeConte all the way down to Spring Street. Is that Spring Street? That's not Spring Street.
No.
What is that?
That's Riverside Ave.
All the way to Riverside. It's just condos.
Well,
and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Next to the rink, there used to be a car dealership. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like on the street.
Yeah.
That became condos 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that. I forget what they called it. But then I figured the Shaws would become condos.
Yeah.
Just logical next step.
Yeah. Because they already had the towers in the back.
Yep. Great place.
Yeah, great place. But like, and then because I was working with a kid who lived in Everett, and we went fishing in Malden at the res. And
got a fishing license?
Nope.
Highly illegal.
Whatever.
I love that. People talk to me. People talk about fucking fishing licenses.
Yeah.
One thing I never got was a fucking fishing license.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I lived across the street from the pond, so I would go.
Yeah.
All the fucking time.
Yeah. Fuck off with your fishing license.
Well, I guess you don't need one if you're under a certain... whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So...
I'll tell you right now, what I was doing by that pond, fishing was not the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, me not having a fishing license...
Explosives,
was
fires...
the least of anyone's concerns.
Beer... fucking playing with knives and shit.
Yeah. So... just like driving through, like I haven't like driven through Medford, like typically because my family lives in North Medford. So anytime I go there, I get off exit 33,
there's nothing
literally
there.
go right up Fulton Street. Like it's residential. Like nothing has changed there. Like, I haven't had a reason to like drive through Medford, and I haven't been in that area in a really long time. And I was like, holy shit. And then so from there, I went down into Everett, and I'm like, holy shit, like everything is like different. So I know Station Landing in Somerville, that's been there forever, and I've been out over there, but I didn't come the other way. And then going through Malden, like the Medford side of Malden, you know what I mean? Like down, like by the Fells Way, you know what I mean? Like it's just all like there's a Target now. The old Johnny's Food Master is now a Target.
Oh, over there?
Yeah. And it's like
Mike's Gym still there?
No, I think it's like Blink Fitness now or something.
That's too bad.
It's just weird to see like how everything has changed, and like even a city. Like we grew up in a city, like Medford is a city. And now it's like more city. It's become like way more cityfied than it was even when like we were there.
Yeah, I mean,
because when we were kids, so I grew up in Wellington. So I grew up on the side of the city where Station Landing is, and Somerville and Assembly and all that. None of that was there when we were kids.
no, I used to go to the mall.
It was
Assembly
Cappy's.
Square.
It was Cappy's, and then there was a floral place where it doubled as a Christmas tree place where we used to get our Christmas trees
Oh, across the street?
across the street.
Yeah.
And then it was just marsh and woods. And then
Yeah.
on the left side, it was woods until you got to the train station, like Wellington train station. And then on the right side, it was just marsh and woods until you got to the old Assembly Square Mall. And then past the Assembly Square Mall, it was Good Times and the movie theater and Boston Paintball.
Circuit City.
Circuit City, yeah. All of that is gone now.
Well,
All of that-
Home Depot Circuit City's still there.
Well, yeah. The Circuit City building is still there.
I think it was a Spirit Halloween at one point.
Yeah. And then, so I don't know how frequently you ever drove like from Medford into Everett past Wellington Station, but you remember like the Mellon building on the left?
Yep.
And there was a baseball field down there?
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's condos now. There's just condos there.
Yeah.
And then you get further down, and then there's a new building, and then there's the Best Buy by the Rotary. And then behind that, still the Teddy, like the Teddy peanut butter. But it's like, holy shit, like what the fuck? And then I went home, dropping the kid off in Everett. I went home around the Rotary through past the place, the casino.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's just construction everywhere over there. And I'm like, this is insane. Because in 20 years, it's gone from like, kind of a city to like, no, this is a legit fucking urban city.
It was only a city based on population at one point to now it actually is a city.
It's a legit city. Yeah. It's wild. And it's crazy just to think like, because it's where we grew up, and like some of the areas still are the same. Like I said, where my family lives in North Medford, still the exact same. Shout out to Finn. Finn lives on that street too. And Nikos. And my high school girlfriend. And now, does Gina still live there?
Does he? I have no idea.
Did they buy a house? They might still be. They might still be on the downstairs. They have a whole fucking downstairs. Shout out to Gina. Like that area, still exactly the same.
Yeah, it's like when I go to my parents, so I drive.
I'm sure your parents' neighborhood is exactly the same behind the cemetery.
Well, one of the houses, they did knock it down and rebuild it up. So that's new.
Oh, cool. Sick.
Like, I don't know how the fuck they did it, but
Yeah.
plots of land are just so fucking small.
Yeah.
No, so outside of a couple houses changing, I mean, it's residential, so nothing's gonna change. It's just the fucking neighborhood.
Yeah.
But, like, St. Ray's built this, like, giant thing. Like, next to I think it, like, used to be the parish center, but, like, I don't know if religious people get, like, a special pass. There's no way that zoning should have passed this thing.
Oh yeah, I think you get
You
get exceptions
it is like
for religious buildings.
on the fucking street. And like you pull in the driveway for St. Ray's, which used to be the smallest thing ever. And it's like you pull in straight and then you have to swerve to not hit this building.
Yeah.
and you have to like swerve back over to not hit the old school.
Yeah.
Like, and a couple businesses have changed. Other than that, it's fucking all the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Is West Medford Square still the same? You've been over there?
Yeah, I mean, again, outside of some of the businesses changing,
Yeah.
it's exactly the same.
It's just weird. It was like almost like a fucking like a culture shock to like go in the place that like we grew up, and I'm like, wow, this is not the same place anymore. At least this like, you know, where I was, the area.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, over there is a little bit of a shit show though, because you know you had some big businesses in, big businesses out.
Yeah. And I came down Mystic Ave, and like the old Saturn that what then became Kia,
Yep.
gone.
Was
It's
it
just-
leveled?
Like,
Or is there just nothing there?
there's nothing. It's like all gutted. There's boards on the windows.
That's a Kia problem.
Like you go down further, and I think, what was it? Was it like a VFW? Like that was they were like Mystic Ave is different. Like the whole it was weird because everywhere I went was like, holy shit.
Well, the funny thing about Mystic Ave is it's going to go through the same transformation as the other parts of the town or city. It's just we need to wait for the businesses and the car dealerships and shit to close, and then naturally those will all become condos as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's wild. Yeah.
I bet you the vegetable store's still there. Roberto's.
Yeah, next to Hertz.
It has to still
Yeah,
be there.
yeah.
Like there's just some things that can't die.
The sign was there. I don't know if they're still open, but the sign was there next to the Hertz right on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then even further down past that is all new. Like it used to be way back in the day. It was like Decathlon and MVP Sports. Then it became
A boat store.
A boat store.
Now I don't know what it is.
Now it's something else. Like it's all fucking, it's all wild.
just wait.
They decided to build a whole new plaza in there, and it has like a Dunkin' Donuts and like a Harrow's chicken pies and shit.
And like maybe an edible arrangements or something.
Yeah, like that plot, like just like popped up, and I go,
Yeah.
"What the fuck even used to be there?"
I couldn't even tell
I
you.
think it was just open land. Like I don't know what was there.
Couldn't even tell you. And if you take the right at that road, and the South Medford projects are on your left, like my grandfather used to be like past there, left, right,
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Because it's all one ways down there, so it's like
Yeah.
you have to fucking.
Yep. And then it used to be the Blockbuster was right there too, and that's gone. That's obviously been gone for years, but now it's like a yoga.
Yeah,
it's a yoga studio. It's wild. It's funny, and I know we have a lot of people that live in Medford that listen to the show, and it's funny that like they're probably like, oh wow, I didn't even notice this. But for someone like
Because they had been
for
there.
us, I've been out of Medford. For 10 years. I moved out when I was 19 years old. I got an apartment in Bridgewater.
Yeah, I haven't lived there since 2012.
So
9.
2011. I've been a non-resident of Medford since 2011. So I only go back periodically. And when I did go back, I went for like reasons. Like I went to my family's house, or I went to Jimo's house, or Bill. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna like drive around and see what's going on.
In grad school, I was going back a bunch, but so some of that stuff was in place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't been back many years.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I had someone ask, "Oh, Bob, where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh no."
From Medford. Ah, fucking
No,
Medford
it's like
kid.
no, it's like oh wait, or no, I'm sorry.
no,
he
they
asked,
say
he asked,
Meffa.
he asked, where did you? He goes, oh, where do you live? He
Everyone says Meffa.
goes, oh, where do you live? I go, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah.
I live in Milton now. He's like, oh, how long have you been there? I go,
Couple months.
few weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't even know what day it is. I go, I grew up in Medford. I've spent some other I've spent some time elsewhere, Easton, Bridgewater, Mansfield. Oh, I live in Mansfield. Where at? I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
End of East Street. He goes, oh, I live on Suzanne. I go, oh yeah, shit. Super nice house just sold by there, right? He goes, yeah, right across the street. I go,
Nice.
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 Congrats on the fucking super nice house you live in.
Yeah. $1.2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. So there you have it.
Another one introduced himself as fucking PT. I'm like, god damn it.
Yeah.
A-Pod and PT.
Oh, sick, dude.
You're not a crazy Irishman. I'm not calling you fucking
Yeah.
by initials.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. This was a long one. We're almost at 2 hours.
Fuck, are we really?
Yeah, I didn't even keep the timer up. I was just looking at other things. So thank you. This is like almost, it's not even Joe Rogan-esque. I was going to say it's almost Rogan territory. It's not.
No, it's not.
No, he goes 3 hours, 3+. So thanks for coming on this journey with us. Don't forget, if you're going to make any bets at all, Ian McMillan has his own sponsorship for another place that we will not speak of because we have a deal. We have a deal. Fucking loser. We have a promo code with mybookie.com. So you make sure you use that when you get your bets. And use our promo code SarcasmPod, and they will get you a 50% match up to $1,000 over there. And then thanks for watching on YouTube. Make sure you click the thumbs up. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button. I think it's over there or over here. I don't know which one it is, whatever you're watching. If you're even still watching, if you made it past the first 20 minutes, that was just a giant blur. I don't know. So yeah, subscribe wherever you're at. If you are on iTunes, go to the iTunes store, leave us 5 stars, write a review. You can find us on Twitter at sarcasm_speaks. We are on Instagram at sarcasmspeakspod. Our Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, good night, everybody.